In 1997, I was 10 years old, which obviously was far too young to see the movie we're going to be talking about tonight. It wasn't until years and years later that I sat down and watched Boogie Nights. It's not the first film from Paul Thomas Anderson, but it's the first one that really got any wide viewing, and it really kicked off not just his career, but a lot of the people that worked on it. It is an interesting movie that has to do with, at the surface level, the porn industry in the late 1970s, early 1980s, but it's really talking about the disappearance of film as a medium as video became more popular, as well as how the nation changed from one thing to another during that time period. It is an absolute classic. It's one of my favorites. Andy, Eric, you've seen this, right?
I have seen Boogie Nights.
I have not. I don't know if this is a controversial thing. I've never watched a single Paul Thomas Anderson movie. We had the DVD. I know my brother had the DVD to Boogie Nights, so I know the cover very
Iconic.
Yeah, I know the cover, and I know most of what I know about Boogie Nights is I know John C. Reilly's in it, who was put into Paul Thomas Anderson movies, from what I understand, until he told Paul Thomas Anderson, "Hey, you don't got to put me in your movies just because I'm your friend." And after that, I guess he's never been in a Paul Thomas Anderson movie ever again.
Oh,
that was an interview I saw.
That I hadn't heard that story.
Oh, I just think it, but I also, the soundtrack. I do know the soundtrack because there's a lot of good, 70s.
The soundtrack is amazing.
Walter Egan's
awesome
Magnet and Steel, I think, is the song.
Awesome music.
I really like that one.
When was the last time you saw it, Eric?
It's been a couple of years. Last time it was probably on Netflix. I just saw it Boogie Nights. Gotta watch. That was the first time I've seen it in previously a long time before that. So I've seen it a couple times, but a couple of years ago I was like, oh man, I forgot how good this movie is.
Have you seen other Paul Thomas Anderson movies?
I don't think so. I think this is the only one I've seen.
Because you're pretty.
I'm a big fan of his. Yeah. I've seen all of them.
Well, because I know you brought over your DVDs. Magnolia's in there, and that is also...
Yeah, Magnolia's actually my favorite movie. That was the one he made after Boogie Nights.
Okay.
But he also did Punch Drunk Love, There Will Be Blood. He did The Master.
Which one?
There Will Be Blood.
Oh, that's not supposed to be funny.
And hey, some people find the humor in what some people just find the humor.
But no, he's definitely one of my favorite filmmakers. But I would say the last time I saw it was about a year ago, and I see it every couple of years.
Sure.
If I'm flipping through the channels and it's on, I stop and watch the whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm surprised I never actually just tried to watch it because, my brother was living in the basement, so he had all these DVDs. That was the era of DVDs, and he worked at Borders.
Oh,
so he would just tons of movies, and I'd always go down there because obviously I would have to go down there to get the laundry or something like that. And there would always be DVD cases laying around, and I'd always look at them and read them and just kind of imagine what the movie was. Friday the 13th Part 6 was one of those. I was too afraid to really watch a Friday the 13th movie for whatever reason. And I just remember reading the back of that box. I don't think I ever read the back of the box to Boogie Nights. It's funny, though, because Boogie Nights always seems
all you have to do is see the cover.
Well, it seems like it's more of a comedy, and I know that is not true at all.
Not true.
I mean,
there are funny parts.
There are humorous bits, but...
So that was going to be my question. Aside from knowing, the general subject matter and that John C. Reilly is in it, I was going to say, what do you know about the movie? What do you think you're walking into right now?
Something that I probably... Something it's probably better off that I didn't watch it when I was a kid.
Yeah, probably.
Not because of the sexual content, because I'm the youngest of three, and then not things were just shown to me, but I just stumbled across things.
Do you know what the main character's name is?
Dirk Diggler.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know he sings The Touch poorly.
Yes.
I do know that scene, and I know at the end of this movie he hangs dong.
Yeah.
Those are the major components to... Oh, there's also a porn star on roller skates, right?
Yes.
Yeah, similar to how when I saw Jaws, the last one of these that we did, I knew bits and things. All the big stuff I knew.
I don't know how it pieces together.
But I had no idea of the actual nuance of the film, so I'm very curious to see what your reaction is once we watch it.
Same, because I think the only other time I ever was interested in a Paul Thomas Anderson movie was for whatever reason the trailer for Inherent Vice fascinated me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to check it out. So I'm excited. I'm hoping this is going to be, the first step towards me Because I've watched a lot of trash movies. I figured I should start watching some, like, highbrow cinema.
But with that being said,
Yeah.
You guys want to jump into Boogie Nights now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta finally piece together this movie that, again, the three things that I know at the end of the movie someone's hanging dong.
I think you'll enjoy it.
The Hanging Dog?
Oh, no, I mean, it's an impressive dog.
I got sidelined for a second. I'm like, okay, right?
No.
All right, I'm expecting to see some quality.
No, the movie. I'm talking about the movie.
I know. All right, so we will rejoin everyone after our viewing.
All right, so about 2.5 hours later, we're back. Andy, since you are the one that has not seen this one around, what did you think?
I loved it. I was disappointed in Dirk Diggler's dong by the end of the movie, but to be fair, as you both informed me, and as I saw through the movie, it went through some perils.
Yeah.
It went through some shit, so, I don't know what I was expecting, but it speaks to how well they built it up.
Yes.
It was like me and Shauna were kind of on the same wavelength that she watched it with us, how whenever they hint towards showing Dirk Diggler's wiener, I'm always expecting the glow from the briefcase, like in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Because they do they give it such mythical status. Nothing would ever live up to the hype.
Well,
Similar to Jaws. In a sense,
Unless you see.
They see the better.
They
just need to shave a couple frames off the end there.
They kept their cards close to their chest, show not tell.
I think it probably goes without saying that this is going to be a fairly spoiler-heavy discussion.
Oh, yeah.
As with probably all of the ones that we do.
Yeah.
These are all movies that came out.
We're discussing
97.
Movie, so, yeah.
But honestly, truthfully, having that golden glow come off wouldn't be as funny as just people's facial expressions.
Oh, no. There's some...
Like when the Colonel sees it and he looks down and then he just looks back up and says, "Thank you very much."
No,
or the director, or the cinematographer,
or
on camera.
Played by Ricky Jay, by the way.
I'm not too familiar.
So Ricky Jay, he's an actor, but he was also a stage magician, who I'm sure he was teaching John C. Reilly how to do that. Yeah. Fantastic, well-known skeptic and magician. Very, very interesting figure to look into. Ricky Jay.
This movie is just one whole interesting book of people to look into.
It's a who's who.
Well, I was sold within 10 minutes when I saw Luis Guzman, and then suddenly I got so distracted by John C. Reilly, young
and thin John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly,
and afro though.
Oh, but he was dancing, he was grooving, and then I got so distracted by him, I didn't even notice Don Cheadle, who I did not know was in this movie as well. Mm-hmm. And it's like the biggest thing I can say about this movie just from the start is that the way it portrays the 70s is too good, because later in the movie when Thomas Jane's character shows up, I didn't recognize, I was like, I know that face. Right. I know that face. Then Eric said, "Oh, it's Thomas Jane," and I'm like, my brain had to stop and remind me, this movie was made in 97. This is not a 70s movie. It's just extremely good at portraying what the 70s were like. Of course, in a film way.
Or at the very least, what our perception of the 70s would be like, being people who didn't live through it.
Right.
Yeah, like when you think of the fashion, you think of the cars, you think of the nightlife.
Now, that opening scene that you're talking about is a really famous one because...
That's all one shot.
It's all one shot.
Yes. I thought so.
And most of your main characters are introduced.
Starting on a crane.
Yeah.
And then the camera gets handed off to someone on foot that follows them through the whole place, and it introduces all those characters.
Yeah. And it does it so seamlessly.
All throughout the whole club.
And it holds on a single take until you get to Dirk Diggler bussing the tables, and then it cuts back to Jack looking at him. Mm-hmm. And that's your first cut there.
I'm a sucker for a good long cut.
Mm-hmm. This movie
when it's done well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, like when this one had... William H. Macy. Another
Yep.
I didn't know he was in this movie, and boy, boy, does his character.
Yeah.
That's the most fascinating.
I would say it's a limited story arc, but a very effective one.
It's very effective.
I mean,
very effective.
You kind of get it. it wasn't.
You know why he did it?
Yeah, like you can kind of see why
he rung in the 80s.
Jesus, like well, that was
That was another long take.
Yeah,
It was,
Him
yes.
walking in, seeing that, going out to the car, walking back in.
My favorite long take out of all of them was when they jump into the pool.
Yeah, the camera
goes
follows her into the pool.
that was a very good one, and not just because obviously all the women in swimsuits, but it's like that was brilliantly shot. The soundtrack we've already kind of gone over.
Soundtrack.
So here's something, and this is me. This is probably going to upset somebody because I'm coming at this from someone who just saw this movie now because I'm bad at watching a lot of movies. But so Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, that's one of my favorite Marvel movies. It's just a movie I love. My parents loved it and stuff like that. But do you think that when I saw at the end of, we're kind of jumping around here, but in Boogie Nights, Alfred Molina's character, Rahat, I believe, the drug dealer.
Rico.
I think Rico was the character that Dirk Diggler was talking about, because I was looking it up.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. Like when he's giving his monologue at the end before he reveals the goods.
Yeah, and are we going to get into that scene right now, or are we just touching on something
I just
real
wanted
quick?
to touch on this really quick because obviously there's the John C. Reilly connection because John C. Reilly was in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's one of the Nova Corps. But the fact that Alfred Molina's character had awesome mixes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think...
Didn't even put that together.
I would imagine...
I could see James Gunn easily being
like
a
this-
fan.
reference to it, yeah.
Like a low-key.
Like
very
I'm
low-key.
not sitting here
a young
thinking,
James Gunn seeing this movie and really digging it and having some kind of influence, I'm sure.
I mean, both of those movies are have soundtrack influenced.
Well, and the music elevates that's probably one of the biggest things about this movie is just... Well, you also have some crossover with songs, like the Elvis Bishop song, Fooled Around, Fell in Love, in both movies. There's another one that I can't...
There's another one I can't
remember
which one off the top of my head, but they share a couple of songs.
I mean, I want to say...
There's some fun DNA sharing
The
there.
soundtrack for Boogie Nights when it came out was a double album.
I could imagine.
I'm sure it was.
I mean, that's a hell of an album.
Yeah.
It's just hit after hit after hit.
And they don't stop. It's one right after another.
That was
they
something
almost play the entire song, which is rare.
That was something I was kind of shocked about, but I don't know.
It doesn't really get into until the darker scenes of the movie that disappears.
Yeah.
And then it comes back again after that.
Right.
But even
After
then,
they all hit their lows.
Well, really, it comes back during that scene with Alfred Molina,
Yeah.
where it's like, but the music is diegetically there. They're discussing the music as the scene is going on.
Yes.
There were some real cool moments where, like, Little Bill, William H. Macy, was talking to the Colonel, or not the Colonel, when his wife was out.
Oh, the cinematographer?
Yes.
It was like the cinematographer
Jay?
he was talking to, but they're both standing there talking, and I forget the song that was going, but it's amazing how... I think that's some pretty impressive audio mixing when you can have it where a song is clearly there. Mm-hmm. It's not distorted. You can hear everything clearly, but you're still focused fully on
what's
the
being
dialogue.
said, yeah.
Like,
And that
it elevates it.
That is such a funny scene too to me because I don't know if you guys caught it, but what Little Bill says in that scene when he's like the guy's trying to talk to him about the camera lenses and stuff.
I'm
and he
concerned
says,
about something else.
He says, "There's some asshole out there with his ass in my wife's cock." And
I caught that,
he
and
was so befuddled that it,
But I wonder if William H. Macy...
if it was just a mistake or if it was written that way.
Because
Yeah.
he also dropped the keys when he walked inside the door.
Oh, but that was such a good... that was such
So
a
was
cool
that-
parallel.
And that
they
could
did.
also be planned out. That
Could
whole,
have been planned.
Yeah.
Could have been just a botched take.
I think
Left
that
it
was.
in there.
I think that was actually the part of the movie where I really locked in. I felt like I was in for something special.
that first party.
When they do, again, I know we're kind of jumping around, but when they do the shot of everybody going home, you go to Jack, you go to Jack's
Oh, yeah.
home,
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody
and it's
goes home.
obviously he comes home, his wife goes to bed, he goes and makes
Yeah.
like a drink.
Yep.
Little Bill comes home.
Do they establish that he and Amber are married, or is it just
Or
I
whatever.
think it's a
assumed?
partnership.
Partnership, right?
Yeah.
right.
I don't
I
think
mean,
Because she's still going. No,
She's
her
going
divorce
through-
is done.
Her divorce is done, but I don't think they
Yeah.
ever they don't
Yeah.
establish if they're married.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter either.
yeah, but that was I love when they kind of do those parallels in movies, and I thought that was a real cool way to do it. Where you see you see Eddie. What's his real name? Eddie. This is before the lightning. God gave him his.
Yeah.
His name.
That was such a funny cutaway when they did the neon sign.
The sign.
It would have
It was
felt
exactly like how he described it.
It would have felt out of place in any other movie,
Yeah.
but with the way Boogie Nights establishes, it's almost like heightened reality in a sense. In any other movie, it feels like that would have been silly.
Yeah.
Like it would have been a cutaway gag. It didn't feel like a gag, though. It felt like, oh no, you're just seeing what Eddie saw.
Yeah.
Well,
That was his vision. You saw his vision.
one of the things that's so interesting to me about this movie, kind of like going back to the beginning. So you have them meeting at the club, and he asks him how old he is a couple of times, and when the answer he finally gives him is 17. Like, I don't know what the law was in California at that time, so I don't know if that was the green light or not.
Well, didn't Roller Girl say she was also 17?
Well, she was in high school.
Yeah, she was definitely in high school. I don't think they said her age.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, yeah. There's a lot of sleaze.
Yeah.
As you expect going into
I
this.
have no idea what the law was.
But you get the difference between Jack's house when they come home, and then Eddie's house, right? And his relationship that he has with his mother and his father also.
That was
how clear it shows what everyone's dynamics are with each other.
Well, even throwing Little Bill in the middle. Like his was almost kind of a gag because you almost think
it's so tragic.
But it's like you almost think it's going to be like a running gag because it happens like twice.
It happens
and then the third time it happens,
he
snaps.
Yeah.
And
But you don't actually see them. You just assume that he shot.
But the thing with Eddie and his mom, how horrific is that scene where she's yelling at him when he's out all night?
There was a particular line, I can't remember it 100%, but it's when Eddie says, "Don't be mean to me."
Don't be mean to me.
That fucking gutted me.
Just through tears.
That genuinely fucking gutted me in a way I did not expect.
Jealous.
Apparently she was alcoholic.
Jealous.
Also, like,
Abusive
she could see the path that he was walking down too, because the path that he walked down was pornography and drugs, and it got him in a really bad spot. And she was trying to avoid that happening.
Yeah. She's
the one that pushed him directly into it too.
It's a tragic case with a lot of parenting cases, but I'm kind of glad it didn't dwell on that too much.
Right.
I don't know.
That was the last time you saw her.
Yeah. He started over.
That was something that fascinated me.
Yeah.
On top of that, though, I think the way the movie just kind of keeps going.
I think the one that I noticed you reacting to the most early on is that first night when he goes back to Jack's house and he sleeps with Roller Girl, and she says, "Hang on a second," and she puts on Brand New Key by Melanie.
Because I love that song, and I didn't know it was in this movie. I love it. I love that song. I learned about that song mostly from Jackass.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's the second Jackass movie where Johnny Knoxville is on. He's on roller skates. No, wait, hold on. I think they're all on roller skates, but I think they're doing it with jet engines.
Okay.
Like they're using jet engines to launch themselves. I think. I could be getting them wrong because those Jackass movies blend together for me. But I should have expected it. I wasn't, and also I kind of need to remember. Oh yeah, they used to show everything in movies for a while there. I don't keep up with a whole lot of movies. It just doesn't seem like there's as much nudity nowadays, which is fine.
No, that was full frontal.
Oh yeah, with Boogie Nights, it was kind of like, oh, that's Heather Graham naked. Okay.
Well, what's interesting about it too is
I like Roller Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Credit to her for staying in those roller skates.
The entire time.
The whole time. She committed.
She committed. There was that part where they're all dancing. And she is still in the roller skates. And I'm like...
she's dancing in the roller skates.
It's impressive, though. That's nerve-wracking. I
I
was worried. I was anxious.
What's interesting to me about this movie is that the sex and the nudity are ever present to the point where it just feels and becomes normal.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stand out.
Yes.
You know, I mentioned before I was 10 years old when the movie first came out. I didn't see it till later. But, like, honestly, seeing it till later, I maybe saw parts of it for the first time late at night on HBO at, 16 or something.
Skinamax.
You know, and it's one of those where it was like, the tone is very different from other sexualized movies that would have been on at that time.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very honest movie.
Yeah.
And it's a very honest...
With everything. Sex, drugs.
It's a very honest movie in the sense that they don't dwell on things. There are just a lot of moments where I'm almost thinking, man, you'd think they would have delved into that more. Like, I guess, well, let's not jump too far ahead because, the ending of this movie, I think that's going to be a whole lot to...
A lot to unpack.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot there that I was shocked by in a good way.
Yeah, the whole beginning, the whole 70s.
The whole beginning feels like almost like a sleazier version of Dazed and Confused.
Okay, yeah.
You're watching these people.
You're watching their story.
And it's just a normal day in the life of pornographers.
Right, yeah.
Well, but,
it's their job. You're looking at their job.
Yeah.
It's very heavily... Paul Thomas Anderson was very heavily influenced by Robert Altman. And
the director of Popeye.
Yes, the director of Popeye, among other things. But his style was very much, let's just throw a zoom lens on, go from far away, get everybody all talking at the same time, and we'll just move the camera from person to person.
And it never felt overbearing. I've seen movies, that's a problem I have with some movies, where they want to do that sort of natural dialogue.
Yeah.
But it gets muddied to where I don't know who to listen to. Boogie Nights manages to just do this perfectly where you feel like you're at the party.
Right.
You're going... It's no different than walking if you're at a party.
If you're at a party and you just...
Going from conversation to conversation.
People, yeah.
You walk up to one conversation, you're talking to someone, you're listening to two people talk, and then you go to another.
Yep.
Brilliantly done.
I think the other movie that did that very well was Goodfellas. First scene in Goodfellas.
Sure. Goodfellas has a lot of great moments. Goodfellas has... you know what? There was a couple moments in this that made me think. And particularly... I'm due for a rewatch of Goodfellas.
Oh, good. That's a great movie.
That's my favorite mafia movie.
I
think it does everything all in one film.
Joe Pesci's so good. Robert De Niro's... Yeah.
We should do... I mean, I think we've all seen it, but I haven't seen it in years, so I would love to do that. But... I think of the scene from Goodfellas, if I can remember it particularly, but it has that song, And Then You Kissed Me. It's like an old 50s song, but it's following a woman as she walks through a crowded bar. It's been a long time since I've watched Goodfellas, but just those very lived-in scenes.
It's when he's taking the woman who he will end up marrying. He's taking her on the first date, and he takes her to the club, and they go through the kitchen.
Yes, and that is kind of the same vibes that this Boogie Nights gave me, with just how naturally characters just sort of entered and exited scenes. And I know you were talking about character introduction, so I'm not the most familiar with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
After this movie, though, I want to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was such an interesting side character, but not really.
Yeah, I mean,
he was there. He was
I
sound guy.
I think of all of the named characters, he's probably the most side character.
Oh, yeah.
You're still invested in him entirely.
Absolutely.
He
matters. He matters
he
to
does.
people.
He feels like a part of the team.
And that's what it is. He may not matter to the story, but he matters to the people.
To the characters.
Because
there's a family dynamic.
This might sound like an insane thing to say, but this movie is a better movie about family than any of the Fast and the Furious ones. It's getting at the same idea in a very different way.
Very.
You're telling me that Boogie Nights does better than Dominic does Family Toretto. I've never seen a single Fast and Furious movie outside of one.
What a wildly uncomfortable thing that this movie does too, because you establish characters like Amber, and she is going to be their mothers. In her mind, she is their mother. They want to look at her like a mother. They want to look at Jack like a dad. And it is highly sexualized. Not that part. Everything else about their life is sexualized. That part's not, though. That is just what their family dynamic is.
Right.
Again,
that's how they established.
It's a sleazy movie, obviously, and it deals with sleazy subject matter, but there's that human core to it. That
it's very...
You don't want to see these characters, even though they're doing things that, obviously the amount of coke.
Oh, a lot of coke.
The amount of coke done.
Talk about the performances about when they're all coked up, too.
That scene between Roller Girl and
Amber.
That was I was having I was getting like almost like weird little bits of anxiety because I'm like, I am so worried about
you're probably
these.
thinking, where's this going to go?
I was so worried about where these characters were going to end up.
And one of the things that Shauna mentioned when we were watching it was that
We'll bring her on sometimes.
the thing that seems unrealistic so far is that he's been in his career for 3 years and he's never done cocaine yet. But I think it's thematically this is the night that New Year's Eve, 79 to 80, is when everything changes, and that's why that choice was made.
Well, there's an even more specific part, and the movie tells you that it changes. Is the first time he sees his replacement, it's all in red.
Oh yeah,
the whole scene is in red, and it's tilted.
You got those weird Dutch angles going.
I noticed,
yeah.
So that's where the movie tells you where everything is gonna. That this is the change. Like, it's different now.
Mike had mentioned this when we had to take a brief intermission because of a dog fight. Dogs are fine, but they're they get wound up. They have to act up for company. You were saying how as the characters do more cocaine, the way the film is kind of like feeling and shot starts to feel more unhinged, and it definitely felt that way. Like, again,
it's a lot less fluid.
It amazes me how this movie has such a stark... I didn't know Boogie Nights was 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
It flew by for the most part. Like, I was very invested. It did not bother me. I sometimes like my movies shorter, but no, Boogie Nights earned its two and a half hours and then some.
There's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it amazes me because it almost feels like again, it's based off that rise and fall thing, but that whole 80s New Year's night, even as someone who had no idea what was going in, it just sets up the scene where things are going to change, and probably not for the better.
You get this sense of horrific violence, and then it just cuts to black, real small text, 80s.
Yeah.
And it's just, okay.
But that's the last you heard of that. That's it. That's William H. Macy's. It's done. They don't even mention it.
That was a portrait. That was meant to be a portrait of him, right?
Yeah, there was the painting covering the spot where he killed himself.
Yes. Right? Little Bill mattered.
No,
yes.
I mean, outside...
He was mad.
Like, he was... Well, I mean, but... I don't think anyone... I imagine... They did an amazing job of kind of not delving too much into that, but I would imagine that was a family tragedy.
You get the feeling that no matter how big of a transgression there may be, forgiveness is always there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the scene where Dirk shows up at the end, it's such a...
What I like about that scene is you don't see Jack's face.
No.
You don't see his face at all.
He doesn't say anything.
He doesn't say a word at all.
Really, again, well shot.
Yeah. Well acted, too.
You know what? It's shocking how we have not talked about John C. Reilly yet.
That's what I'm saying. There's so much to talk about. Their friendship is one of the best movie friendships. I mean, there's
the competition.
There's Dirk Diggler and Reed Rothschild. There's, the entire friendship at the core of RRR. You have different levels of competency for sure.
I mean,
but the level that they connect is right there.
Yep.
It was such a...
They buy the same clothes.
Yeah.
Well, that scene where he's making him the drinks.
And they include Scotty in that.
They do, yeah.
They do.
He's part of the group.
Kind of
he's always part of the group.
Yeah.
When he was making him the margaritas.
Yeah.
And they were just that... And it's... With John C. Reilly, he delivers those lines with such a smarmy sort of conviction, but it never comes off like he... Because at first I was almost like, is he going to kind of be like Dirk Diggler's rival? Oh, no, they're best friends, and they connect within less than a minute. How much do you bench? You say first.
Yeah.
Like,
didn't say anything.
But it was just wonderful dialogue that endears you to them.
I really love the way that Mark Wahlberg delivers that line too. He goes, "Oh, come on, you say first." It's like
it was very upsetting to me
all the time while he's making margaritas.
It was very upsetting to me because Mark Wahlberg was exhibiting peak himbo vibes. And when you, I think during our intermission, you said, "Oh yeah, just wait to see what happens," and you start to see the cracks form, and you feel bad because he's this lovable.
Yeah.
That intermission, by the way, was just before Little Bill finds his wife at the New Year's party.
Yeah,
was when we were saying that.
Yep.
So
we were billed. Yeah, I still had a way to go, but it was every character goes through an arc.
Yeah,
and even if the arc doesn't, because John C. Reilly's character isn't he's there.
He's there.
He doesn't really go through too much of a gigantic arc, but
But he's still part of the crew.
Well, and he's
so
happy.
He's happy. He ends up being happy.
He ends
yeah.
up getting to work magician. He ends up getting to work his magician act along with his pornography act.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? If you're going to talk about a guy who has 70s era porno charm,
John
C. Reilly.
Yeah.
Not a handsome man, but you know what?
And
he's a local guy too. Grew up in Evergreen.
I know. His brother's around somewhere.
Yeah.
his whole
Reach out.
his whole story about their friendship, and then when he leaves, I mean, it's implied when Dirk leaves, he leaves also, but he might also not have. He might still be in good with Jack.
Yeah,
Right?
He was upset when he
Just-
saw what happened.
right.
He wanted to straighten him out.
Exactly.
He was not. He didn't want it to be like, no. I'm going to talk to him.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to be just fine.
And then, I mean, Don Cheadle's whole storyline of him, he's got his cowboy look. He wants to be who he is. And the kind of...
I can't believe that guy didn't buy that stereo. I would have been hook, line, and sinker.
He is not a Western fan.
level of progressive indignities that his character goes through because of other people's perceptions of him.
Right.
And they just ratchet up throughout the whole movie, between his boss basically saying, I hired you because you're in the porn industry, and I hired you so that you'd be the cool black guy to bring people
the
in.
actor. Yeah, it
and
was
why
the
are you
actor.
like this? And then going through, like, people telling him he needs to change his look, and then, in that New Year's Eve when he's got the wig
with
and
the Egyptian stuff on.
He was doing the Rick James
Yeah.
kind of look.
and then the bank.
That part was... That part...
It was hard to watch.
It was... This movie amazes me. I'm not trying to just link everything to Jaws, but this is another... Boogie Nights is another one of those movies where it's hard to classify as a... Because it can be seen as a family drama. And not necessarily like a blood family, but a found family drama.
Found family.
But it can also be...
Everybody relies on each other.
Yeah.
It's got so many elements to it. Because there are genuinely funny moments.
Yes.
Like watching John C. Reilly and Mark Wahlberg practice their song. And when I saw John C. Reilly sitting there with that weird... Like,
the 80s
I don't even
leather
know. Yeah, I don't know,
patch.
but he's sitting there with the flying V. And I couldn't... I want these characters to be okay.
Yeah.
I care about them.
Right.
I don't really care much for Mark Wahlberg otherwise, but I feel really bad for him, and I want him and John C. Reilly to be okay.
Yeah.
I was very worried.
Before one quick thing because this involves Don Cheadle's character. I don't know if you guys got the Star Wars reference in that. TK-421 was the name of the stormtrooper that they were trying to get a hold of when Luke and Han were in the Millennium Falcon, the first Star Wars.
Oh,
That was the Star Wars. The stormtrooper's
I never
name
caught
was
that.
TK-421.
you dork.
I'm just saying. I don't, there's a deliberate reason why that's in there. It's
I
not.
can see
It's
it.
not random.
I mean, hey,
Well, I mean, and then
well,
even
hey,
cutting
how many
back to
how many times did Eddie see Star Wars?
4 times.
Yeah.
One of the best lines of the movie.
No, man, I saw it like 4 times.
No, just people said I look like Han Solo.
Yeah.
It's the fact that he calls him Han is
Yeah.
a little kicker to that line that kills me. But it also just made me think of Step Brothers.
Sure.
Yeah.
When he was standing there, what's your name? My name's Dale. You have to call me Dragon.
Yeah.
Or was he Nighthawk? Or was Will Ferrell Nighthawk? It's been a while.
I can't remember. But it was funny.
This John C. Reilly's performance, but so I guess if we can just kind of jump really quick ahead, I was so pleasantly surprised with where Don Cheadle's character ended up.
Yes.
I was so terrified at that moment that we were going to cut to...
Well, I want to talk about that kind of whole sequence.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. 'cause
There's a lot to unpack.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Because that sequence starts with Dirk being picked up by the guy in the truck.
Yeah.
Intercut with Roller Girl doing the Man on the Street video.
It was...
Intercut with his arc, too, with him and his wife trying to get
No. That wasn't intercut. Because that finished, and then as the truck drives away after beating up, then you see their car pull into the donut shop. So his stuff was entirely after
that's
it.
Right.
So I guess I can kind of touch on this because this was something that kind of ran through my head throughout a lot of the movie was Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Not a movie I really like. I think it's a beautiful movie, and it's a very tragic movie.
Yeah.
But
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I had to watch it in my film class. I think I mentioned that in the pre-show, and I watched that ending like 3 times, and it was enough. I don't need to ever see the ending ever again because it's gut-wrenching in many, many ways. But there were so many moments during Boogie Nights where I was worried it was going to veer into Requiem for a Dream territory. But here's the thing. If it did, I don't think I would have been mad because it kind of felt like...
It would have fit with the story.
It kind of would have felt with how real it is, but...
I'm happy it didn't.
I'm very happy it didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if we just want to... We can always jump around more. I was shocked at how good I felt by the end of this movie, considering how genuinely uncomfortable and
And how low
upsetting...
everyone got.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the scene with Dirk Diggler getting beaten up by the homophobic truckers or whatever they were, like, that part was...
It was brutal. You got the shit kicked out of it.
gut-wrenching.
But, like, also...
It was all planned.
Also, before that, there's that whole conversation where it's like, you realize he's going back to doing this on the street.
Yeah, you can tell.
He's trying to get $20 for it, and the guy's only got 10, which is what he charged in the
Before,
beginning.
right, yeah, right.
You know? And it's just, okay, this is... I'm back here now.
It's that continuous ratcheting up of tension where you know something is going to happen, you just don't know what. And Don Cheadle's Buck's situation in
That donut
particular,
shop.
Oh, man.
that was almost like a Tarantino situation.
Very
Like,
much
just
so, yeah.
with how
quickly, how
Everything
the tension, you
escalated.
see everything that's going on with the customer
You know,
pulling out his gun
and
aiming it at him.
I was...
And here's what's really fucked about that whole scene to me, too, because the wardrobe in the whole movie is amazing, right?
Yes.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you see Don Cheadle come in, you see that his wife is pregnant now.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
see him, he's wearing a completely white suit, white shirt, white tie,
Oh,
white
yeah.
everything,
Looking sharp.
right? After we just get done with the whole Roller Girl and Dirk Diggler scene, he comes in dressed like that. He's not doing anything wrong. He's just literally
He's-
minding his own business,
he's
right?
buying donuts
Completely
for his
innocent.
wife, yeah.
His
Okay.
pregnant wife wants donuts,
Yeah.
and he's being a good man and getting her donuts.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then this situation comes in, and the situation is made worse because someone wants to be a hero.
Yeah.
Like,
I was
Yeah.
just relieved.
And, oh,
because here's the thing: that dude was going to get his money, and he was going to leave, and no one would have died.
Yep.
yeah. Yeah.
Just, goddamn.
Instead, everyone died.
Everyone except for him,
Except
except for him, and then he took the
He
money.
took the money.
And that
started
was-
his business.
That's something that kind of shocked me, and something that kind of amazed me about the movie, and too, is the fact that you are seeing characters who would typically be regarded as the dregs of society by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Pornographers, kind of like the bank scene.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was infuriating to watch, especially with all the credit stuff going on right now with banks and PayPal and Star MasterCard and all that. They're refusing to allow people to make adult content legally and sell it in legal fashion. But
Right. Well, I mean, also like
puritanical mindsets and everything along
you know,
that way.
dispensaries. Even though
Yeah.
cannabis is legal in Illinois, not legal federally, so they can't put their money in banks.
Yeah.
Which means they can't do credit card transactions either.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's nuts, and it's, you know, I guess that's kind of where the Requiem for a Dream thing happened, where I was like, we're gonna see him take this money, and then we're gonna see him getting arrested and not seeing his kid.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen. You actually see him, his wife giving birth, him there, and Scotty filming it.
Scotty filming it.
Always in the background.
Yeah.
Always keeping track of things. And it ended up being like, it was a weirdly happy ending, and I did not expect that.
Well, you also have, like, in between those scenes, right? Because right after he takes the money, it cuts to a title card, and then they're planning the heist. Mm-hmm. Which,
Oh, God.
that is one of the most nerve-wracking and tense scenes I've ever seen.
You know what it made me think of? It made me think of the bar scene in *Inglourious Bastards*.
Sure.
Yes.
Where they're
Yes.
in the base,
Yep.
they're in that basement area or that little like speakeasy or whatever,
speakeasy,
and
yep.
they're playing the game where it's just this
Yeah.
taut, tight tension
Oh,
where everyone is people
Yeah.
are armed.
Right. Something's going to happen
Who's
here.
going to be the one
Right.
to do it?
The fact that they're going in with not drugs. The
Right.
dude...
I didn't know where that was going.
The dude, when he asks him how much, he starts giggling like an idiot.
Right.
Because he's losing it.
Yeah, you could see his parent, and Tom is good on Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Played the. You
The
could
sleazy 80s
He was like an inversion of Matthew McConaughey's character from Dazed and Confused.
You get this incredible performance from Alfred Molina.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man!
And again,
I've been at parties like that.
Young and thin. And Sister Christian is playing,
right?
And he's real into it, and he just wants to hang out.
And there's firecrackers going off the whole time.
Oh, God.
Like the whole time.
That was one of those things that, like, I felt like it was going to annoy me, but it annoyed me in a good way because and the way all the characters are reacting every time they
the security guard comes and grabs the drugs, and John C. Reilly sees the gun, and just the way that shot, it's like he doesn't react right away. It's just kind of like
Yeah.
And he keeps looking around, and then it goes into
it's that ratcheting.
It goes into Jesse's Girl.
Oh God. Never going to be able to hear that song ever.
Such a good use of that song the whole time, and then he takes out his cool gun that he wants to show them.
Chambers one round,
everyone
spins it and puts it up to his head.
Everyone did an amazing job acting like they were coked out of their minds. To the point where I wonder who might have... I'm not going to judge anybody. It was 97. Never mind.
Right.
See, the movie keeps getting me.
Yeah.
The movie does too good of a job.
And then you get that shot where Dirk looks up at him, and he stops being scared for a second, and he looks at him.
That was such a...
And
there's so much that you could look into,
him.
And because that whole scene is him hitting rock bottom.
Yeah. That was as low as he got.
That was his wake up call.
Yeah.
Running away from a craze.
Running
away
from
his
window shot out.
Running away from a coke enraged Alfred Molina.
He was
in a robe, in a nice shiny robe.
Does anyone want to be there?
It's not just coke; it was crack. He was freebasing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we said, you guys want to play baseball?
Yeah.
God.
And you get.
I was waiting for his bodyguard to do something. There was just so many things. There were so many things that could have gone wrong in that moment, and that's kind of one of those situations that that's what made it scary.
The fact that the thing that I got was he never checks it, and his bodyguard is pouring it out. He's checking it.
Well, how about this though? When Thomas Jane stands up and he's like, no, here's the plan, and like he's trying to get it out, and he's kind of fumbling over himself. There's this wonderful little like response, and I understand this is audio, so you guys aren't going to see this, but there's this when Dirk and Reed are like, "Hey, no, this isn't the plan." Alfred Molina just goes, "No, it's fine. It's fine." He's like, "It's cool. I'll handle him. You guys are cool."
I've played
him shooting at him anyways.
I've played in a few bands. I've been around, unfortunately, people who've done coke. No, I felt there were moments there where I'm sitting thinking, this is starting to freak me the fuck out.
And all the while this is happening, 99 Left Blood starts.
Yeah.
When I wrote
a very brief moment.
It felt like...
but when the music hits and the door opens and he gets the shotgun blast, like, it is such good use of music through that whole scene.
This movie is a masterclass, I think, of music.
Yeah.
Just brilliant scenes upon brilliant scenes. I was
And then he
stunned.
goes and asks for forgiveness. He gets it.
Yeah.
And then it goes into the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
I was
and you're
shocked.
getting everyone's happy endings.
I was not expecting
everybody.
that.
You see everybody. Yeah. You see everybody's arc at that moment.
Yeah, and we skipped over Amber's entire.
That's what I mean.
Arc.
Too. Yeah, there's almost
divorce and her son.
Yeah, this movie is so dense with how its characters are.
And the fact that she missed the phone call from Louise Guzman.
Yes, because the kid asked her real name. Of course they don't know her real name.
Of course not. She's Amber Waves.
But then you get the courtroom, the scene with the judge, and what an incredible cut to go from the judge asking, when was she arrested and what was the charge, and her not being able to have a good answer, to immediately her crying, leaning up against the wall outside.
So you know it didn't go well.
Yeah.
So I guess really quick, since we were talking kind of about the ending, here's kind of where I was thinking everyone was going to end up.
Yeah.
Because, again, this is me thinking, not knowing how this movie went, not knowing, if this was going to be a feel-good movie, because it's again, it's one of those movies where it seems to kind of just do a little bit of everything. I was expecting Eddie to be taken advantage of again.
Sure.
Like Jack was going to take... Was it Jack? Yeah,
it was
Jack Porter.
Yeah.
he was going to take him back, but it was going to almost be. This is a weird kind of reference, but I was almost thinking of. Did you see Nightmare Alley?
Yes.
You took me to see Nightmare Alley, but
I've not seen Nightmare Alley.
Well, so Nightmare Alley ends on.
It's Guillermo del Toro, right?
Yeah, he did the remake.
He did the remake, and then there was the original. But basically, there's a moment in that. I don't want to spoil the ending of that movie then, because you should watch it.
Okay.
It's interesting. I was expecting Eddie to end up at Rock, like, just kind of accepting being a nobody.
Sure.
Like, just sort of accepting that life has moved on, just, I don't know, ending up in a sad place.
Yeah.
I was expecting Buck to be arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he takes the money, and then he gets busted for it.
Right.
And then his wife leaves him, and he can't see his kids, and they're talking behind, like, a glass, kind of like
Sure.
parallel like that.
And the only one that got the bad ending like that
Was the
with
guy
the Beach
who
Boys
deserved
playing was
it.
the Colonel.
Was the Colonel, yeah.
And the
Yeah.
Colonel deserved it.
Deserved
Like, I don't think anyone would argue against that. And I expected... with Roller Girl and Jack, actually, when she started kicking the shit out of that guy...
Oh,
I
thought she was going to fucking kill him.
I thought
Oh,
she
yeah.
was going to kill him, and then they would be they'd be put up for murder.
Sure.
None of that happened.
She went back for her GED.
Again, I was absolutely shocked at how happy it was. Like, sure, it was a morbid happy ending, but that's kind of how happy endings in life can be.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes things don't go the way you plan, but
Could be a lot worse.
It's
compared to the rock bottom you were at.
If you see that as being a bad ending for anybody in that movie, it's because you are passing judgment on their characters.
Yeah. Everyone seems like, you know what? They all feel like they're in their place that they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Even...
They're right where they want. They chose to be in those situations.
And it doesn't...
All of them.
But it doesn't feel like they settled.
No.
That's
what they wanted.
It kind of feels like the family got put back together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Buck's got his...
Roller Girl wanted to go and get her GED, and she did it.
Buck gets to sell his...
Buck gets to sell his store. Yeah.
Oh, and
The bedroom at the end of the hall where Lil Bill killed his wife.
Yeah.
It looked like at the end that was Roller Girl's bedroom now. Like that was kind of when he was walking through the house, there was kind of that implication.
Another pretty cool long shot
Yes.
of Jack walking through. Luis Guzman is cooking food.
Yes.
I love
that he refused to tast.
Right. And
like-
his sign got screwed up at the end.
The Rodriguez brothers.
Yeah. Misspelled.
Just...
You know how much those signs cost,
Oh.
man?
You can't just Control Z it out.
No, because that's all one piece of glass.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They screwed up.
They paint the spaces in. That's one piece of glass.
I just really, really liked it. I really, really enjoyed the
It's
movie.
a very well-paced, well-put together movie.
Yeah, I think Boogie Nights was the first Paul Thomas Anderson movie
I want to
I'd
watch
ever
more
seen.
now. Like, after seeing the... Actually, this is a question I had for
Yeah.
you as the resident Paul Thomas Anderson expert. Because you've seen multiples.
Oh, I've seen all of it, yeah.
You've seen all of his movies?
Yeah.
And you've only seen Boogie Nights, right?
Oh,
Eric?
Boogie Nights is the only one, yeah.
Obviously, I had only just seen Boogie Nights. This is my first night seeing a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Would you say the rest of his movies have... Like, because the Coen brothers have kind of a style. They have a voice.
So
Do all of his movies have that?
Boogie Nights and Magnolia have similar tones.
Interesting.
Like-
Okay, I would not mind doing Magnolia sooner rather than later.
that is, and it's not even close. That is my favorite movie,
Yeah.
Okay.
like of all time, not just like
favorite movie?
favorite movie all
okay.
time, and it's not even close.
Okay.
Wow. I will be thinking about Boogie Nights constantly now, and it's funny because again I had no idea what the movie really was about.
Right.
I knew it was about Dirk Diggler,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't know his story. I didn't know I was going to get as emotionally attached to all these characters as much as I did.
Sure.
I
They all have their own focus. Every major character, going from Burt Reynolds all the way down to Philip Seymour Hoffman, they all have their place in this movie.
And again,
they all get a great spotlight.
Well, I'm talking about the side characters who are the most, side characters in this movie. The two characters I would probably consider side characters, but I was always happy to see them on screen were Luis Guzman
Sure.
and
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. They were just lovable side characters where every time I'd see them, I'm like, I'm glad they're doing okay.
Yeah.
I cannot say again how there was genuine moments of panic and fear in me in that movie where I was like, this is where everyone starts to, like, fall apart.
Yeah.
But they pull it back, and I think it's honestly I mean, even though they put themselves there through their own means, obviously, with the amounts of coke and everything else.
Right.
But it's nice to see that they recovered. Because I could easily see anybody else wanting that movie to end with everybody,
Tragedy,
everyone broken.
Right.
Again, Requiem for a Dream kept coming to mind, and it didn't. It like swerved in a way I was not expecting. Just because you said Boogie Nights could be a bit of a bummer, but it was. But I didn't know it was going to kind of have that like it
didn't end on a bummer.
It went up, it went down, and then it leveled out. It didn't like swing high. I'm really thankful that we got to finally watch Boogie Nights. This is definitely going to be one of those movies I think that'll be at on the short list of like top 10s.
It also it is a long movie, but it really rewards rewatching it because you'll pick up little like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's new. I didn't see that before.
Yeah.
Any examples you guys have?
Well, this is the first time I saw that they misspelled their names on the sign. I never caught that before.
Yeah. Because again, there's so much going on that it's easy to miss, even when someone clearly says something.
Yeah,
I didn't catch it. I missed
they
it
misspelled their
entirely.
name on their own sign.
I missed it because I think I was just going through the phases of relief, just seeing all these characters kind of okay.
Sorry, there's a train going by that I'm not sure how much that'll pick up on the mic.
It doesn't seem to be picking up too much. Joys of Living Next. It's not quite like the Blues Brothers, where it's right outside my window, but it's there.
Boogie Nights is definitely a movie that's pretty much a once-a-year watch. So
Really?
it's been a couple of years, but I'm like, the soundtrack just got me this time. Like, man, there's such good... The use of music is just on point. It is awesome.
That use of the Electric Light Orchestra at the very end, too.
Yeah, it's just...
The most anxiety-inducing use of Jesse's Girl I'll ever see in a movie, I think.
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about a coked-up Alfred Molina with a gun, but I'm scared.
And he's singing along with it with kind of the lyrics.
I was...
Yeah, it's
I
not
was,
great, but he's like having a good time.
I was really impressed, and this is a dumb thing that I noticed. I was really impressed at how accurately Alfred Molina got the drums to is it Motorin? I don't know. What's the name of that
It's
song?
Sister Christian.
Sister Christian.
Yeah,
It's one of those radio songs.
You being a drummer.
But I just noticed like he got like got the right hits. Like he didn't go. I'm like, man, he knew.
Yeah.
Like not that I'm any sort of expert, but I'm like, I just kind of appreciated that detail where you're so into a song that you know
how it's played. Yeah.
Just know how it's played.
What a funny way to say it too. Like, not just that I like to make mixtapes, but you know how when a band puts out an album and they put the songs in a specific order, like they're forcing. Like, what an insane person thing to say.
That's what
that he made his own mixtapes.
Yeah.
Awesome
Awesome
order
mixes.
that awesome.
Awesome.
That's another detail
In the
I don't
order
think
that
I
I
ever
want.
caught before too.
Well, the awesome.
No, was that he asks his buddy with the fireworks, this is
God.
what, number 11? And then it shows the tape and it's number 6.
What an odd choice of having him continuously throwing the firecrackers.
Oh, that
was
talk
one-
about tension building.
It was driving me crazy. It
Think
was.
of the character situation.
Oh yeah, like that really helped.
Everyone's on edge.
And then the guy in the background testing the product. It's just kind of.
Well, also, like they're getting the money so they can get the vet fixed.
Right.
And, like, it shows it, like, when he's pushing it away and, like, the whole
the front of it is destroyed.
Because he probably crashed it into a
Who
damn
knows?
tree.
Yeah.
You know.
But,
Oh, that was nerve-wracking when they were getting away. I was wondering
well,
where the hell
they
John
were
C. Reilly
so close to getting away. They had the money in their hands. All they had to do was walk out
leave.
the door.
Yeah. Well, also, that's another thing, too, talking about details. The scene on New Year's Eve when Scotty brings Dirk out to show him his car.
That could have gone.
And he said the paint is still a little sticky, but you see the light hitting it, and it looks like it just got spray painted, that color.
And he's sitting on the hood when he opens his eyes.
Yes.
That scene was very shocking in an interesting way to me. Not that Scotty did that, because they build up that he is very interested in
well,
Dirk.
his character introduction, when he sees Dirk, it irises on him.
Yeah, it's laser focuses on Dirk.
Just the scene where they're walking and he's taking him to the stage and he's chewing on the pen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's like, it was very good, but when he goes in and he kisses Dirk.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many ways that scene could have gone, And this kind of just speaks to how lovable of a character Dirk Diggler was before his downfall.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't, like, mad I don't know.
There's nothing homophobic about it.
Exactly.
No, he's
exactly.
just like-
he doesn't call him a
He's like,
slur.
come on,
Yeah,
man.
He doesn't like hit him.
He's like, yeah.
He doesn't.
He just
How
asks-
dare you?
no.
No, it's like
why did you do that?
it's like he notices something's off with his friend, and then there's this little heartbreaking scene where he's in his car and he's crying,
I'm
yelling,
a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
and I'm just like, man, this movie's making me feel all sorts.
But
of
a couple
things.
scenes after that, you see him with them. It's all three of them. So
Yeah.
no bad blood was
No.
happening there.
It was kind of just this surprisingly.
He just tagged along.
Well,
with
again,
them.
it's that idea
Heartwarming
of
scene.
whatever the transgression, forgiveness is always there.
Would you say that's a central theme of the movie? Is forgiveness?
Possibly.
Okay, I'm just curious.
I mean, I just that idea of, the myth of you can't choose your family. You can absolutely choose your family. People do it all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
And that's, even if your family's, there's that whole concept of the found family.
Mhm.
This is
This is the definition of it.
it's a very unique take on it, and what I love about it is that they're all just their,
Are they-
all just their own weirdos.
Are they perfect?
Absolutely.
No.
One of my favorite little details about when the escape at the end is how John C. Reilly just fucking books it.
Oh, he just jumps over a
I
hedge
was-
and then that's it.
I was
Next
worried.
time you see him, he's doing his own thing.
I was worried something was going to happen to him. No,
Yeah.
He boogered out of
he
there.
got out of it. He did not want to get shot. John C. Reilly was absolutely fascinating during this movie because
Oh, wait, he said, I'm going to do a full flip.
Oh,
just eats it on his back.
Oh, man.
it's interesting for me because with John C. Reilly, I know him. My first introduction to John C.
It was
Reilly,
Dr. Steve Brule.
yes,
Yeah.
it wasn't even on Steve Brule. The show, check it out. It
Yeah.
was when he was just a guest on
Tim and
Eric.
Eric. Yeah.
And then I watched Step Brothers, which I have a soft spot for. I think it's a funny movie. It's a good time. I have a good time with Step Brothers. It's one of those dumb comedies that I'm like, this movie gets me.
Mm-hmm.
And just John C. Reilly just being himself. Like he brings his own energy.
He does. He brings a great energy. My first time, not for introduction, but the biggest thing that he's done was Talladega Nights.
Oh, Talladega Nights was good.
Mhm.
Actually, yeah, I guess that was because John C. Reilly wasn't an Anchorman, was he? Or was he?
He was not in the first one. He had a cameo in the second one.
Okay, I didn't see the second one.
There's an interview with him where he talks about how one of his favorite things to do is when fans approach him, he tries to figure out what they're going to mention before they get to him.
A friend of mine.
Is
got a lot
this going to
under
be a
his belt.
Steve Brule thing, or is this
Sure.
going to be a Magnolia thing?
Is he in Magnolia?
Days
Yeah,
of
he is.
Thunder.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. He was in Days of Thunder
Days
too.
of Thunder. Oh, he's prominent in Days of Thunder.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, that's good.
You got to realize you're talking to someone who clearly
Yeah, no.
missed out. I can sit here and talk your ear off about fucking House,
Yeah.
both the William Cat and the Toho
Mm-hmm.
Classic, but we start talking about actual directors that I should probably know about. I'm like,
I don't know. I'm not sure who directed Days of Thunder.
but I mean in general, these movies
But
that
no,
are
he's a major character in Days of Thunder.
fascinating figure, John C. Reilly. A friend of mine that I was in a band with, met him.
Nice.
And, I don't know if John C. Reilly was clearly not in the mood because he
Oh.
said my friend's very tall.
Okay.
And he saw John C. Reilly at an event he was at, and he walked up to him, and John C. Reilly, like stayed in a corner away from him, and he was wearing, like, a hat. And he asked him, like, hey, can you sign this for me? And he takes it. Does it, like, scribbles on it really aggressively, staring at him, gives it back to him, and part of me is like, I wonder if that's a bit.
Huh.
Or if maybe John C. Reilly just wasn't in the mood.
It's also possible sometimes, like,
You catch him at a bad time.
you catch
I
them
get
at a
it.
time, or like they see you staring at them all night, and
Yeah.
they're like, "When's it coming?"
Yeah.
My guy was pretty cool, though. He doesn't get like that. He's just a lovable weirdo who likes weird things. So, of course, he'd
Sure.
check it out with
Yeah.
Steve Brule.
But yeah, no, Boogie Nights has been a favorite of mine for
I get
a
it
long
now.
time.
I get why everyone I know who had seen this movie loves it as much as it did. And it still just completely blows my mind that it was a 97 movie.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, but also
1997.
not even like thinking of it from the perspective of like it looks like a movie from the 70s. Think of it from the perspective of this is 1997 and this just comes out of nowhere.
Well, that's the thing. I was thinking about, this came out in 97. So, I would have been 10, 9,
Yeah.
something like that. the movie itself even just feels like it's like an early '90s movie almost. It's weird. It's timeless almost. Like it's timeless, but it's obviously not because it takes place at a very specific time in a very particular.
Yeah, they tell you exactly
change of the
what
decade. Oh yeah, the little dialogue, the little like text that was telling you things.
Something really interesting too, like her court case that was on a Tuesday morning in that year.
Very specific.
Yeah,
it would be very generalized, and then it would be very specific, and it was just I take that as this is what you need to know.
Yeah,
like
to get you the feel of what's happening here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just every character in this movie was just something interesting. Like even side characters beyond side characters. Because I know we talk about like Scotty, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Louise Guzman. But what about the little guy who was doing the mixing for the Dirk Diggler?
Oh, his album?
Yeah, the album. Like even he had like a. He had like an odd little charm to him because he looked like a new wave kind of guy with his sleeveless.
Well, and I love that when they're confronting the owner of the studio about it, and like at the end, John C. Reilly turns to the engineer and is like, "And where were you backing us up?"
And it's like how he doesn't even have anything to say; he just goes,
"Yeah."
Oh. John C. Reilly with a sick flying V guitar. I mean, I would have
a nice '80s Jerry girl.
What's funny about that scene, though, where Dirk Diggler is singing "You've Got the Touch," it's obviously as someone who loves Transformers the movie. I mean, "You Got the Touch" was the wedding song that I came out to.
Yep.
Did you think Stan Bush, like, how do you think he felt about that being in there?
I'm sure he's probably happy that his song made it in there.
Even though it's like,
even though it was butchered,
even though it's a real janky version where it's like everything's a little off.
Well, isn't the whole point of that scene though is that song's really cool, but this character isn't right now?
Yep.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He even tries to play it off like, no, the bass is off. It's not me.
Your mix is making the vocal sound bad.
As someone who has been in on album recording stuff, there were moments that I'm sitting there like, fuck. It's like, fuck.
But let's even talk about the choice that he made. So he goes from being a major porn star, winning a bunch of awards, and now he's making a music album. That's a total shift in.
Oh, it's like look at Ron Jeremy.
He's a star.
He's a star. Well,
he is a bright shining star, and he can do whatever he sets his mind to.
He can do.
But
in his mind, he can do whatever he wants.
But you're also seeing kind of like I was kind of thinking with Ron Jeremy. Ron Jeremy, obviously, before all the actual stuff about him came out. But, he ended up on, like, those things like VH1's, I don't know, the Surreal Life.
Surreal Life,
like
yeah.
That.
Oh, yeah.
But that felt like...
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy how that 97 movie, like Boogie Nights, kind of really denoted how a rise and fall goes, because typically that is what some stars,
sure,
a little air quotation here, would do, is they decide, I'm going to go into music.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't work out right. And, they kind of... If this movie somehow got remade in a sense... Remade, but not. I don't think anyone would ever dare do it. I could easily see a character like Dirk Diggler ending up on some stupid...
reality show.
Or it's like... And now we have porn star Dirk Diggler.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we can probably... It's been about an hour... Good conversation. I mean, this is another one of those movies I feel like we can go
It's one that we can keep going for, because we'll keep remembering parts and...
finding more stuff about it.
Yeah, or just...
noticing more.
Exactly.
But this is definitely a win, I would say. I'm happy to say I can finally say I have seen this.
Yeah.
I genuinely will be thinking about this movie quite a lot. Yes, I was disappointed in Dirk Diggler's dong by the end, but to be fair, at that point, what was I expecting, right? That's my own fault. I bought into the hype. I failed to realize that the moral of the story is that, hey, he's more than just a wiener.
Well, and honestly, the way that, his face isn't in frame.
It's such a unique shot.
And just that you are a star. Mm-hmm. You are, and just that he's hyping himself up.
Yep.
And your eyes are just drawn.
Yeah. Well, you have no choice.
I mean, that's what it's kind of stuck. It's like...
There wasn't much in that frame.
No. And then the song at the end was real good. I can't remember exactly what it was, but...
It was Electric Light Orchestra.
Oh, that's right, you're right. Lots of... I'm going to be putting the whole soundtrack.
Yeah, me too.
It genuinely was superb. Just everything about the movie felt like a well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this was his first movie.
It was his second movie.
Second. You said the first one.
There's the first one that got any real traction. A lot of people haven't seen his first one, Hard 8.
Because you said that has who in it?
John C. Reilly, Samuel L. Jackson, Philip Baker Hall, who was I can't remember what his name is in Boogie Nights, but he was the one that's like the videotape guy that the Colonel brings in to talk to him. And he's like,
yeah.
I'm a man of simple pleasures, I like butter in my ass and a lollipop in my mouth.
That was a fascinating scene to watch in particular too, because it really drives home the fact that time is moving.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of interesting how it was.
Right, and
how the VHS era really changed.
We didn't even get into talking about anything about it being an allegory for how the film industry changed.
Yeah,
right.
Like you get that first
locked in for another hour.
That first scene that Dirk Diggler does, and you get all of those shots from inside the camera, and all of the shots on the lens and the way it's moving,
and it's focusing. Yeah.
There was a lot of fun within film shots.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the. What were their names? It was something in Hardbot. No, what were
Chest Rockwell?
Chest Rock. Yeah, it was Chest Rockwell and
Brock. Oh yeah, what was this?
Brock Landon?
Brock Landers, I think.
I was going to say Brock Hardon, but I think that's
that's a little too on the nose.
That was a little too much.
Chest Rockwell is such a good... And I also love whenever anybody would say one of these names, someone else goes, oh, that's a good name.
Yeah, right.
I just love the fact this movie had John C. Reilly holding nunchucks.
He did.
I mean, that's if you would have told me that, I would have probably been like, why haven't I watched this movie yet? I enjoyed the in-universe movies where you're watching the opening... And then the Amber Waves documentary was kind of an interesting thing, too.
Yeah, when he's talking about how Jack lets me, block all of my own sex scenes. And, you just see Burt Reynolds go. He just looks at him and then immediately clarifies, I don't let him block it.
Can you cut that out? Can you cut that out? That was just moments upon moments, and it's amazing how it just never lets up. As time
it does not let you take a break.
As time has gone on, movies have gotten longer, and I don't feel a lot of them earn the right to be as long as they are.
I would agree with that.
I think some movies, there was a time where it seemed bragging about how long your movie was a sign of quality, and I'm like, no, that's a dangerous thing. Yeah. I joke about it, but that's part of why Piranha 3D I respect so much, is because that movie...
In and out in 80 minutes?
Yeah. In and out. It knew exactly what it was. And
probably less.
It doesn't need to be anymore, though.
It doesn't.
It knew exactly what it wanted.
Did you say Richard Dreyfuss plays Hooper in that movie?
Might as well be.
Basically a character. I like the characterization of Hooper.
Oh, yeah, no. He gets fucked up by piranhas in the beginning.
Yeah.
Singing Show Me the Way to Go Home. But just Boogie Nights earned the 2.5 hours to where, honestly, if the movie went on for another half hour of just kind of seeing these characters go about their business... I probably would have been interested. Mm-hmm. It was genuinely fascinating to watch this. Obviously, what's the word I'm looking at? Here, this obviously cleaned up version of how a pornography is made. But there was when they were shooting Dirk Diggler's first big scene, the camaraderie.
Oh yeah, the casualness of it.
It was very charming. I think how everyone's like, "You're doing good, kid."
Yeah,
Little Bill was just, and then of course with. What was the one woman's name who was with Buck? But then I forget.
Ooh, she had a good name, too.
She had a real good name. There's too many good names. Yeah. I keep thinking Dirk Diggler, but she was good.
But all of her oil paintings and everyone's tiny faces.
When they were sitting there, though, and as they noticed Dirk Diggler's God-given gift, the way they tilt together, it's those little bits of humor that just always got me. And then the guy shooting the film, the way you get to see his face, everybody had this reaction to it that was fascinating, and it was just funny.
Talking about that scene, I think I think that was the most calm you saw all of the characters.
Yeah.
Because they're working. That's their job.
Yeah, they're professionals.
They're professionals. They
think
wanted to make a professional film.
the only person who was really struggling was Scotty, and that's just because he was in love.
Well,
I also
he was
really
the sound
love
guy though. He was holding
He
up.
was, oh yeah, he held up that mic. He didn't let it drop.
Yeah.
everything that Ricky Jay's character was saying. He was complaining that they don't have enough lights. He's like, hey, I got a shadow. I got a real tough shadow I'm working with there. Hey, life is full of shadows. And the way he looks is like, oh, yeah, all right.
I gotta give him credit.
Or were you talking about the equipment with
Yeah.
with William H. Macy?
Yeah.
I could have stayed in the 70s more. You know?
Yeah.
But it's almost like the 80s coming was this. It was almost like the meteor that took out the dinosaurs.
Well, that's the parallel. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, no,
that's
go
the
ahead.
parallel with the industry at the time.
yeah.
That's
turn
exactly
of the,
what happened.
not a turn of the century.
Not a
per
turn of the
se,
century,
but
From going from film to video.
well, that's the dividing line.
I
Yeah.
wonder, talking about parallels, you get right before Little Bill shoots himself, he gets that broad smile across his face, and then he just does it. I wonder if that was a parallel being drawn with Dirk Diggler when he was at Alfred Molina's house, and that he's looking at him, and that smile he gets over his face. So it was like, oh, this is the end.
Yeah.
This is how it
Yeah,
happens.
Almost like
Yeah.
that calm acceptance.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where my
Right.
life has led to me, and also,
Good point.
and I mean, that was after, Little Bill shoots his wife and the person he's with, so he knew there's no way out of this.
Yeah, right.
So there's like this calm acceptance.
There's something too about the choreography of that shooting, because he shoots twice onto the bed,
Yeah.
and then follows and shoots a third time.
So you don't know. I mean, yeah, and
Could
it
have been
seems
three people in there. Who knows?
it seems very in character.
Likely one got shot in a non-lethal way the first time.
Right. Yeah.
William H. Macy was a real pleasant surprise in this movie, despite where his character ended up. Just
Yeah.
he brings this Ned Flanders-esque sort
Yes.
of, not
Yes.
just because of the
He
mustache,
does.
but I love William H. Macy. I love him as the shoveler.
Of all the arcs, his is probably the most depressing.
And I know you guys haven't seen this yet, but his character in Magnolia is also a lot of fun.
See, you're really selling me on yeah, no, I want to watch Magnolia sooner rather than later after this, because Boogie Nights, again, has shot straight to being one of those movies. Oh, yeah, no, you need to watch Boogie Nights. I will be the person asking people, you've seen Boogie Nights, right? Because it just gets... It's just a fascinating film, and it still blows my mind that was made close to the 2000s, 97.
97.
That's... And I think that was
That predates Running with Scissors.
the Weird Al album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
That's how I measure time, is before and after Running with Scissors.
That's fair. That was a good album. Gave us The Saga Begins. My personal favorite thing that the Star Wars prequel gave us. Well, that's why it's funny.
I got you, huh?
You broke
That's
it.
so specific.
I mean, it's a good album, though.
What year was that?
1999.
Okay.
99 was a big album. I mean, Big 99 was a big year for just everything.
That's funny. That's funny.
That's why it's interesting how Requiem for a Dream is a very 2000s movie.
Yeah.
But it's like they really... I don't know why that movie just kept leeching onto my mind during Boogie Nights. I know there are like some things you can say, like, oh, well, there's like, those parallels with characters.
Well, you see character arcs in both movies, don't you?
Yeah, but it's like just the way it's shot too. Like, there's a lot of creative shots in Requiem for a Dream that parallel like characters in similar positions in different locations. Kind of similar to that shot in the beginning of Boogie Nights where it's all the characters coming home.
Sure.
Again, that to me was just where I was kind of locked in, because I'm like, okay, that's a really fun way to
Explain what's going on.
Well, to just show the different lifestyles all these characters are living, and kind of gives you like a good snapshot of where they are, and then
you went through their entire day, from beginning to end, and this is the end of their day.
And the pool party was great.
Pool party.
I could sit there and watch young Mark Wahlberg and John C. Reilly just kind of being dorks. They're just two frat boys.
To talk about a movie that's of a lesser quality, Pain and Gain.
Okay, so that's really funny you bring that up,
Yeah.
because I did think about that at a point, because I thought this is the second time I'm seeing Mark Wahlberg do coke.
And what I was going to say is, I think it's not a very good movie, but
No,
I
it's
think
awful.
not.
The
I hate
reason
it.
I did like that movie is that's the only other movie I could think of where he's playing the character in a way that's very similar to Dirk Diggler's personality.
There
like
were-
that
It was-
dopiness that he
It
has.
was, yeah.
It's just obviously...
I didn't like Pain and Gain because it was the trailers made it out to be
It's a different movie than it actually is, yes.
Well, that, when you find out the real story behind it...
It's
how-
also bullshit, yeah.
Well, yeah, because the guy who was played by Tony Shalhoub was actually just a pure victim. And I think they actually interviewed the guy and said, yeah,
I was tortured.
I was tortured, and I have Michael Bay making me out to be an asshole played by Monk. Maybe he didn't say that, but that's how I felt. And I'm like, well, Michael Bay is kind of a knob job.
He is a knob.
So that doesn't surprise me. But I did start thinking about Pain and Gain, not just because of the coke, but just Mark Wahlberg is very good at playing, like, himbos. These kind of shiny and dumb characters who... They're not
He's very
evil.
good at the... No, they're not evil.
They're very dumb. Optimistic.
Optimistic, sure.
I would say he's not one of my favorite actors, but the stuff that I like him in, I really like him.
He does
Like
good.
the other guys.
The other guys is hilarious.
Other guys was funny.
Have you guys seen Daddy's Home?
I have not.
Oh, that's a Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell vehicle, and it is very funny. I went into it knowing, like, coming in like, this is going to be a stupid movie.
Yeah.
But it
Is
was
that the one with
stupid
Mel
funny.
Gibson?
That's
the
Daddy's Home
second
too.
one, yeah. That's the
Okay,
second
that
one.
With
one
Mel Gibson and John Lithgow.
Yeah.
I will say this: John Lithgow being Will Ferrell's dad did almost have me wanting to see that movie because I'm like, okay, that is not that. I'm not the biggest Will Ferrell guy, but that is a lot of chaotic energy to bring into one thing.
But no, he plays a similar character to the other guys, and he does those characters very well.
Other guys did surprise me when I watched it because, again, I'm not the biggest Will Ferrell guy, and I would always get confused with The Nice Guys, which is a movie I really want to see. Yeah, I think we've had a pretty awesome discussion about Boogie Nights. Again, I shot straight up. I love it. I will be thinking about it a lot, and I will probably be queuing up as much of the soundtrack as humanly possible.
Same.
How did it hold up on a rewatch for you, Eric? Because you said this is turning into a yearly rewatch?
It's going to, because like I said before, I noticed small little things like, oh, I didn't know that before, didn't catch that one, and the music this time just got me. I don't know why, but the music just hit harder this time. Like, God, there's so many good songs in this soundtrack.
It was kind of hit after hit after hit.
And it never
kind of relentless.
It is.
It never stopped,
But it never
kept
feels
going.
overbearing.
No,
and,
it doesn't.
And it never feels like, oh, they picked a song that's too on the nose.
Right.
No, it just
No.
genuinely feels like, no, this is what you'd probably hear. This is what you'd probably hear in your head if you were at this party.
But no, it's. I think I counted. They did like 6 songs in a row without stopping.
That sounds about right, because there were several where it's like, it just went.
Mm-hmm.
Characters would be talking, characters would be going about their goods, characters would getting fucked, but the music just was in the background.
Well,
Excuse me.
another movie that is something similar. You ever see Baby Driver?
Yes. Oh, that's a good movie too.
I've heard mixed things, so I'd be curious where I land on it.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it
but,
too.
But the core of that movie is every scene
Is-
has a different song in it, and it goes the entire length of the song.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know the best use of a song in a movie in recent memory is Nobody, right?
Oh, it was Heartbreaker, yeah.
Heartbreaker,
Yeah.
Heartbreaker and
Yeah.
Nobody. I mean, I just still can't get over that scene. It's one of the coolest car chases
It is.
I've seen in a long time.
It's honestly, it's one of the thing with Nobody, and this is a completely different tangent, but it's hard to watch Nobody 2 just because of how good the first one is.
See, and I'm okay.
Yeah.
I know how to set my expectations, so I think I'll still, as long as I get to still see more.
I have very specific things to say about it, but I
Okay.
will wait until after you see it.
I'll watch it probably this
You've
week.
seen it already?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get out to the movies as quickly as I want to, but Mike, thank you for bringing Boogie Nights, over. We got to
I'm
watch
I'm
it.
happy you enjoyed it as much as I hoped you would.
Yeah, you and Eric. I'm glad I did not disappoint. So we have to wait until we finally get to the episode where someone says that movie sucked. I'm waiting for that. That is gonna be like the turning point.
Yeah. You
This is
never know.
Blues Brothers 2000.
Well, thank you all for joining us for You've Seen This Right. We are going to be shooting to put out as many of these as we can as we continue to work through. Thank you all for joining us. Keep watching film, I guess. Everyone say goodbye.
You also have a good one.
Have a good one.